I have been using folding phones pretty much full time since around the Z Fold 2. Now, some of that was a Surface Duo for sure, but folding screen phones have been in my rotation for a significant amount of time for quite a few years, and none of them had ever cracked, failed, broken. That was until about 3 months ago when my Pixel Fold developed a crack down the left side of the screen. I was sitting on my couch watching some TV. I opened it up to do some finance work. I think I was working with my bank app and Keep or maybe Calendar or something like that. When I opened it up, I heard a very subtle yet distinct cracking sound. And yes, my heart sunk because it had finally happened to me. My folding phone had finally broken. I knew that eventually, you play Russian roulette long enough, you pull the trigger enough times, eventually something bad's going to happen. And it finally happened to me. So what kind of followed after that should have been a pretty nice, easy situation where I reached out to Google, their support. I was within my warranty. The phone had not been damaged. It had no dents, dings, major scratches on it at all. It was in really solid shape overall. Should have been replaced very quickly. I'm not going to rehash this whole story, but basically the short version is it was a massive hassle. They did not want to help me. Eventually, they did help me, and I think that there's a decent chance it's because they found out who I was, that I was a YouTuber, that I was talking about this on my channel, and it was getting a fair amount of attention the way that they were sort of not being all that helpful and not wanting to replace the phone, despite the fact that it should have been covered by a warranty. It was a device failing, not me breaking the device. But eventually, they did send me a refurbished Pixel Fold, and all seemed well. Now, even with that being the case that it was replaced, I was definitely very nervous using it. So I did what I thought was pretty reasonable. I jumped over to mintmobile.com, which is the cell provider that I use, and I purchased their insurance. Now, I don't remember offhand how much that cost for a year. I want to say it was between like $100 and $200. It really wasn't all that bad considering we're talking about me using $1,800 smartphone. So I bought this insurance. Now, I was actually planning on making a broader video talking about cell phone insurance in general because my warranty process was so bad, and I heard from so many of you, whether it was OnePlus or Samsung or Google, that it had the same thing happen. Your phone spontaneously cracked, and your OEM of choice did not want to help you, did not want to replace it. I was just telling you guys, buy insurance. Don't rely solely on your OEM to take care of this for you. So again, I wanted to make like a full video talking about insurance, but as I dug deeper and I read what people had to say about, insurance provider A, and I called and I talked or I emailed and I asked questions, things were very inconsistent, and it made me nervous to give like a strong recommendation of who you should be using, because the last thing I wanted to have happen is someone buys a phone, they get the insurance, it breaks, and the insurance screws them over, the OEM screws them over, and they come back to me and they say, you said this would not happen to me, and I'm going to be like, I'm sorry, I misled you. So I just decided to not go down that road. But in this video, we are going to talk about my experience with Mint Mobile insurance, because unfortunately, I got to test that insurance much more rapidly than I expected to, because August the 6th, it might have been the 5th, it was right around the time I posted this though, my refurbished Pixel Fold cracked as well. I used it the night before, it was fine. I actually filmed it a little bit for a video. I went to bed the next morning and picked it up off of my Pixel stand. I opened it up, and that is what I was greeted by. A great big nasty crack right down the center of that screen. And no, it was not just the screen protector that was messed up. It was the screen, because I peeled the screen protector off and took a look underneath, and yes, indeed, it was the actual screen that was broken. And if you're wondering why I chose to go with insurance rather than using Google's OEM warranty, besides the fact that that really didn't work all that well for me last time, I also got to point out that I am past my 1 year, and therefore I do not have a warranty anymore. It is expired. Insurance was my only option. From there, how this works is, it's through Allstate. You just file a claim. Now, that is what I ended up doing, and that's kind of what I want to talk about today, is how that process went, because it was a little bit strange. It took quite a while to get a resolution. Really though, okay, so really about 2 weeks. That's really not too crazy, but there was definitely some confusion with that process. It seemed as though maybe they were having some technical issues because by the end of this, I ended up with 3 different claim numbers that were in various states of progress, and then 2 of them just sort of spontaneously completed the other day. So there were definitely some like technical glitches going on. But basically, I filed my claim. I told them that it was a Pixel Fold and it had cracked. I sent it to them, and here we are about 2 weeks later. And what did I receive? From Amazon, mind you. A brand new Pixel Fold in the mail. So, I mean, was it the smoothest process in the world from Mint Mobile? No. I was in the chat several times. Like at one point, I was supposed to have my shipping label to send it back to them, to send my broken Pixel to them. And they hadn't sent me the shipping label. So I got in the chat, and then lo and behold, boom, within 30 seconds, there was my shipping label. So there were just weird things like that. You might have to follow up in the chat, but I will tell you, the end result seems to be pretty good. I've not even unboxed this thing just yet. And why not? We'll just go ahead and open it up real quick. And I guess I have to make a decision. Do I actually try to use this thing at this point now that 2 of them have failed? I mean, guys, I've been daily driving folding phones for a while now, since the Z Fold 2. And I have never had one of them fail other than the Pixel Fold, which has now failed twice. And I have to tell you that that does absolutely make me a little bit nervous about the Pixel 9 Pro Fold, which is a device that I have, like I said, I've already pre-ordered. Maybe I didn't say that. I pre-ordered it with my own hard-earned money. Here she is, never been opened before. The screen is not cracked like the one that I sent them. There's one thing that I do have to do very quickly. This is the very same leather D-brand skin from my old one. I literally took it off and I saved it. And just like that, it feels like I'm back home once again. But yeah, I got to decide, like, am I actually going to try and use this thing for a little while? I should have the Pixel 9 Pro XL here fairly soon, so maybe that's not like a great use of my time. Switch to this and then have to switch right back. I don't really know what else to say here, right? Pixel Fold broke 3 months later. The replacement, which was a refurbished one, so you got to kind of factor that in. It broke as well. This time it broke down the middle, which was quite strange. And no, it was not the screen protector, because I actually peeled the screen protector off before I sent it back to confirm that it was indeed the screen that was cracked. Allstate / Square Trade is who they sort of do this stuff with. They were a little bit glitchy, a little bit strange at times, but at the end they said it could not be repaired, and with my $90 deductible, they sent me a seemingly brand new Pixel Fold. So the outcome, I would say, was quicker, easier, and probably a bit less frustrating than the same situation 3 months earlier through Google's factory warranty. I guess I'll just double down. If you have a folding phone, get insurance. If you have Mint Mobile, I can vouch for their insurance being pretty darn effective. They took care of me. I've got a functioning Pixel Fold again, so when those comparison videos need to happen, I'm going to be able to do them now, which is definitely a big, big, big benefit, and I will continue paying for this insurance henceforth. If you have any questions about this process, you can drop them down below, and I'll try to respond to as many of them as I can. Guys, thanks for watching. Subscribe for more content just like this, and until next time, stay nerdy, my friends.